Hi, Rolf. Hello. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Sorry for being late again. Always big tired in the mornings. Or not, I guess not really morning, but when I wake up. Because it is already like 3:43. No. No. I'll never recover from this fight. No, Rolf. I can't believe I've done this. How are you doing, by the way, Rolf? How did the D&D thing go, by the way? How was that? Got my giant mug of coffee as usual. Not to hit my mic. D&D has been good. Heck yeah. I'm glad. Had a busy weekend last week with 3 days of D&D in a row. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you talking about that. I hope it was fun at least. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Rolf. Last weekend, that was the Labor Day weekend, right? Now I can't remember what last weekend was. Yeah. I think, that was the Labor Day weekend last time. So I also had like a 3-day weekend, but I ended up, as you saw, like canceling the stream that week. Cause I was like, I need some more sleep. And then guess what? I still didn't get much sleep because I ended up staying up because I knew I could sleep in. So I just stayed up again. The struggle is real. My sleeping schedule never gets any better. I used to like try and reset it a bit by staying up all night. And then like crashing the next night after that. But I've stopped doing that because I found out that the reason why like there's like a big correlation between like having certain mental problems like Alzheimer's and whatnot with not getting enough sleep. Apparently. So I'm just like, oh shoot, I kind of don't want stuff like that, so I guess getting some sleep each night, even if it's not enough, is better than doing the thing where I stay up all night and then go to bed the next night after that. But yeah, otherwise that's literally what I used to do, is I would just skip a night and then crash. Oversleeping is horrible though. I mean, hi Adam, hi Mew, welcome. I I love you both. How's it going? I hope you're both doing good. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I have, apparently there's a term for what I have, and it's like called hypersomnia. And it's basically just a catch-all term for the stuff that I am experiencing. So it's not really saying like what exactly is the cause of it, but basically it's a person. So while people's need for sleep varies slightly from person to person, it's generally recognized that like an adult person needs about like 7 to 9 hours of sleep per day. Like that's kind of the norm for an adult person, is 7 to 9 hours of sleep, which is about what I get per night, but it's not enough for me. For me to feel fully rested, I need to sleep like 12 hours. Otherwise, I still feel tired when I wake up. The only time I don't feel tired is if I get that 12 hours of sleep. And basically they say like if a person needs that much sleep all the time, then they're a hypersomniac. And it's a big struggle. Also, hi Azure, welcome to the stream. I love you so much. I hope you're doing well. Your best is being Azure. But yeah, like, and they also say like it's something that appears in a person from childhood, which is true, because even for when I was a little kid, I used to sleep for long periods of time. So it's always kind of been an issue for me where it's like I need that much sleep, but I never really get that much sleep, because and they even state like on websites that talk about what it's like to have hypersomnia, that a hypersomniac will likely never get enough sleep because, you know, 12 hours of sleep is kind of insane. Like you normally, because of just daily tasks you gotta do and whatnot, you're normally not gonna have that much time to sleep, because 12 hours is literally like half a day. Which is sad. So I'm kind of always pretty tired. There are times where I've been able to get that much sleep, but the other issue is that while I need 12 hours of sleep, I need more than like 12 hours of being awake to really feel tired. So that leads to the reason why like I'll stay up really late and then sleep in, is because like I need that much sleep while I'm sleeping, but then when I'm awake I also need a lot of time to be awake to feel tired again. It just leads to a whole mess of problems. Also, no you, Azure. I'll fight ya. I hope you're doing well. I'm thinking about after the stream, probably a bit after the stream, to join a call and hang out if you're free. Because I remember you saying that you have today off as well. So if you're around, I'll probably join a call and we can hang out, watch some weird videos. Maybe get you to watch another show all over again. I'm gonna suplex you, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, I finished that article yesterday, by the way, and it got accepted, so that's fun. I have 3 articles for this week that I gotta work on, and I'm also submitting, some story ideas, because I'm on like my last 3 that I have, so I need some more. Oh, also, Azure, did you see that? So the Nintendo Direct is apparently tomorrow, and They made it so that it's at 10 a.m. Like Eastern time, I should say. 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm like, no, Nintendo. We're all gamers. We don't want to be here. Oh, that's awesome. That's actually awesome. That is so good. Atlas finally going back to its roots. Oh, so I can watch it as soon as I wake up. Heck yeah. I'm just like, I'm debating on whether I should do like a short stream for it or not. But that would mean having to get up at like 9 a.m. And I'll be like, guys, I'm dying. I'm dead. Save me, my soul. But yeah, I'm so glad that they would have a few, like, canon queer characters. It's like Atlas going back to their roots of actually, you know, being a bit ahead. Except at this point, it's not really ahead anymore like it was in the past, but still. I'm glad. They needed some of it. Now it's only gonna be like 40 minutes, so I wouldn't bother. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I should just, like, watch it whenever I wake up. Yeah. Yeah, we could probably, like, Discord stream it for, like, the watch or something, maybe. It's probably... me getting up at 9 is probably not gonna happen. Is what I'm thinking. Also, potential Anya voice sighting, but they haven't shown enough of him. Oh! Oh, snap! Wait, in what? In what? What potential Anya boy sighting? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. In Soul Hackers 2 or in upcoming Nintendo Direct? But heck yeah. Soul Hacker. Ooh. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Also, I'm still shocked at how much I liked Arrow. I thought he was gonna be like a Junpei kind of character, but I ended up really liking him so far. He's more like a Kuzunoha character more than anything else. So he's pretty cool. 3 days till Metal Hellsinger releases. Heck yeah. Yeah, that one looks really cool. Even teased the level on Twitter. Heck yeah. That's exciting, Adam. I hope it turns out really good. Yeah, I knew. I knew what you were talking about, Adam. No worries. But yeah, I definitely need to still play more Soul Hackers 2. I haven't gone around to playing more of it since the last time, but I definitely liked it so far. And of course, have plenty of other stuff looking forward to in the coming months or so. Oh, my friend Felicia might be coming over this week so we can do a walk in the neighboring park and stuff together just to hang out. So, finally get some exercise. And she also is already sent an invitation for the Halloween party, even though we're still at the beginning of September. But the party will be on like the 23rd. So last time I didn't get a new costume, but now I feel like I kind of need a new costume. Because it's been a while since I got another Halloween costume, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to wear. Thank you, Azure. Thank you. At both the walk and Halloween, heck yeah. Yee. Heck yeah. Like, I would love to cosplay as Joker. As you know. Or cosplaying as Katarina would be great too, because now that I have long hair, it could work out. But I feel like especially Joker would be easy just because Joker also wears glasses and I don't want to take my glasses off, so heck yeah. It's just the problem is like costumes are so expensive. Either or. I haven't, like, I would prefer Phantom Thief costume, but I would also be fine with the school uniform. Like, either or is fine with me. But yeah, I would love to wear it, but we'll see. Because I remember when I looked it up, like, the costumes for it were pretty expensive, so that's the problem. But it would be cool if I could do that. It would be pretty rad. I could come in. I remember the last time they did a Halloween party. Leo, which is Felicia's husband, and also a friend of mine too. His costume was literally the Evergreen. Like, he cosplayed as the boat. Oh no, not Evergreen, Evergiven, or whatever the boat was called that got stuck in the canal. You going to tattoo damage on your Heck yeah. Heck yeah, let's go. I am tempted to buy a Michael Myers mask and just go into work one day just as a joke and just stare at my colleagues awkwardly trying not to laugh. Amazing. You would honestly absolutely terrify people, Adam. I would be scared. Joker the Joker. Is Joker cosplaying as Joker? I'm playing as Joker cosplaying as the Joker. That would be insane. That would be too much. That would be too meta. Yeah, was it the Evergiven that was the name of the boat? Now I'm like wondering. Evergiven. Yeah, it was the Evergiven. Yeah, so the Evergiven got, like, stuck in the canal, and that was, like, you know, a huge meme when that happened. And so Leo was literally dressed up as the Evergiven boat and was, like, making jokes about how he's, like, getting stuck in between the counters and stuff while they were making, like, food for the party. It was great. Yeah, definitely need to think about looking into that kind of stuff. Either that or just like going to the local Spirit of Halloween and see what's there. Maybe get something there. Because that's actually, fun fact, I got my, so I have a cosplay, an Evie Frye cosplay from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And I've worn it a couple times, and I actually got it at, I think it was the Spirit of Halloween or like one of those kinds of stores, and it was actually pretty good. Well, the costume itself is pretty good. The prop that came with it, the stick thing, it broke pretty fast because it was terribly made, but that's a whole other story. Though the cool thing about that was that if you kicked like the side of it, it would actually have like the hidden knife come out of it, which was pretty cool. Oh, heck yeah. Look like a Laughing Jack from the copy pasta because I thought he... Yeah. 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 There's a lot of like good like copy pastas or creepypasta ones that would be pretty fun to do. But yeah. I wonder, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering. Because, like, I was always wanting to do, Joker, but now that I mentioned my second life as a villainess earlier, I'm now just like, I could do her outfit. Yeah. I mean, those are I mean, if there's ever a time to do it, Halloween is the time to do it. Oh, heck yeah. See, there's like multiple costumes for her. Oh my gosh, there's so like incredibly different versions of it. Why is crazy? Oh, they even... That's cool. Maybe potential Anya boy at the party. Aw, snap. Nah. Nah, I've been to their house multiple times for parties, so I know the peeps that are there already. No potential Anya boys there, sadly. Dang, see. You hate to see it. But yeah. Free shipping! Aw, snap. But if you spoil for choice now, you hate to see it, yeah. Dang, see. Oh. But yeah. I don't remember what it's been so long since I went to get cosplays and stuff that I don't remember what websites I used back in the day. Oh my gosh. Oh no, the one for this website, it's $99 for this dress. Ah! The horror is real. The horror is real. Ah! Yeah, big beefs indeed. AliExpress. It's 70. Why are cosplays so expensive? Why are cosplays so expensive? You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it. Last time I dressed up as cosplay Nero for— Oh, that's awesome! Heck yeah. Yeah, you did! I do remember that. You did. I do remember you posting a picture of it. That was great. Yeah, maybe I should just go to Spirit of Halloween so I can just, like, try on stuff. before buying it. Because that's the thing I hate about buying cosplays online. Because I'm always like, is it gonna fit me though? What if it's too small? Or what if it looks weird on me? And then I freak out. It was first time, so first cosplay, I think is fair to say it goes as well as expected. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I've also done cosplays. I've done cosplays for a while. I think one of my first ones that I did was I did like a female Robin cosplay when I was pretty young, which was pretty great. Good stuff. Yeah, cosplays never really stay for very long, huh? Oh yeah, there's Party City. I forgot about that. Heck yeah. Yeah, Spirit of Halloween, there it is. There's literally now like several Spirit of Halloweens. Crazy. Yeah, most of these cosplays, unless you get like the really expensive ones, tend to like fall apart after a while, which is sad. And then they also cost a lot too. Any cosplays or looks you think I would be able to pull off? That's a good question. You could probably try doing a, like, Kiryu from, the Yakuza series. If you know about the Yakuza series. Or, Majima, I think would be fun too. Those are just the first things that came to my mind. I could try Kiryu. The super buff guy. Amazing. No, Rolf. Yeah. Yeah, I think you would look good as a Kiryu. Would work pretty well. The Amazon choice for his costume literally costs $81.99. I'm like, no. Toughest part of the cosplay. Yeah, you pull it up and it's like, oh, there it is. So much work for something that you can't really see normally. It's like, I gotta go all out even if no one sees it. Yeah, it's probably just for the best just to go to, like, a Spirit of Halloween and stuff and pick out from there instead of trying to get it online. Even though the times where I've gotten stuff online, it's worked out, but I never really trust it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is, like, you would never really see the back. So it's like, wow, I went through all that trouble for something no one's gonna see. Dang, see. But yeah. There's a lot of ideas I could do, because I could also do like a newer version of Robin again, do that, or just find something at Spirit of Halloween. But anyways, we're not even there yet. There's still like 2 months before we get to Halloween. But I guess this is the best time to already start thinking about it before it's too late to get anything. Before it'll take 5 million years for something to arrive or whatever. Well, you gotta be ready to rip off your shirt in case you get challenged to a fight. Aw, snap. Aw, snap. Can't argue with that. Amazing. Oh, earlier today, while I was eating some of my mom's pancakes for breakfast, which are like the only pancakes that I like, they are delicioso. I was eating those pancakes for breakfast, and I was watching a new video from the YouTuber that I like, AlphaRad, and one of the new videos that he did, he went to Disneyland and literally went on with his friends on every single ride in the park in one day. So from the time the park opened to the time closed, they went to every single ride in the park. And they ended up doing it, even though they arrived late and even stopped for food a couple times. Like, they managed to do it, which was pretty amazing. So, it's a lot easier to do it in Disneyland than it would be in Disney World. I think in Disney World it would actually be impossible. No, it's in Disneyland. They went to Disneyland. Oh no, Tismoland. Oh my god. But yeah, they could not do it in Disney World. It would be impossible there. With how big that park is. But they did all of it for that one, which was pretty fun. I might show off the video later. Because it was a fun time. But it also was a bit weird because it's like, it really made me realize just how few good rides are actually in Disney parks. Like, most of the rides are kind of trash in Disney parks. Like, I feel like you go to places like Darien Lake or just like Six Flags parks, and there's a lot more, I feel like, to do in those parks than there is in the Disney parks. Like, in those, it's more about, I guess, the merch and stuff. The vibe of it, maybe. But in terms of rides, like, a lot of them are not good. A lot of them are pretty D-tier rides. Like, there's, of course, a couple good ones, like, Space Mountain and whatnot, which even as a little kid, I remember I went to Disney World. I've never been to Disneyland, but I went to Disney World with my sister and her husband, and the one, like, the ride that I remember loving the most was Space Mountain. Like, that ride is a top-tier ride. It's so good. Yeah, I've never been to Disneyland, but I have been to Disney World. But yeah, join the club. Wait, Adam, have you been to Disney World? Apparently Zach has been to Disney World like a bajillion times, but it's understandable considering that he lives in Florida, so it's, you know, pretty easy. Alright, I'll be on in a sec. Had to finish writing up some nerd shit for the D&D setting I'm working on. Heck yeah, no worries. No worries. I was already late. It's fine. And as usual, it's always good to just be chilling and talking about random stuff as my brain struggles to wake up. Because, like, so going back to the topic that started all this, my weird sleep stuff. At night, I went to bed, I think, yeah, I went to bed at like 5 a.m. But I couldn't fall asleep. Like, I was struggling so much to fall asleep because, like, I just kind of forced myself into bed, basically, at that time, even though I didn't feel tired. And so I was like, oh, I can't wait till the morning comes or whatever so I can wake up. And then I finally, I think, fell asleep maybe like an hour or so later. And then, of course, the alarm goes off at 2, and I'm just like, now I just want to sleep. I'm like, why can't I have, like, normal sleep stuff? Like, where I go to bed, I fall asleep, it's time to wake up, I get up. But instead it's like, I go to bed, I don't want to sleep, I finally fall asleep, and then I wake up and I don't want to wake up. My brain is like an IBM computer, where it takes forever to shut down and then forever to turn on. The struggle is real, which is why I work the best late at night, because it's like, that's when I'm at my peak of awakeness that night. Knock knock, who's there? Is this a knock knock joke? I don't know. I don't know what Asher's referring to, so I was just like, oh, who's there? But also, no worries, Rolf. As I said, just a time to chill. No necessities here. We're all just hanging out. I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady. Heck yeah. Amazing. Incredible. I can't believe Azure died after knocking on my door. I hate to see it. Want to believe in the dream, and then you just... I walk up to the door, and there's Azure just dead. Thanksy, and it's Rolf! Hi, Rolf! Welcome, welcome. I love ya. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just, you know, still trying to wake up. How's the D&D stuff going?
Pretty nice. It's a lot of work to make your own setting, but I'm just taking it one bit at a time.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like, when it comes to writing anything, that's usually the case where it's like, you want to create a story, but you're like, oh, now I have to, like, figure things out, how everything should be set up.
Yeah, you really don't need to work it out in as much detail as I'm doing, but I wanted to have a solid base.
Yeah, want it to be as immersive as possible.
Yeah, and the idea for the campaign that I want to run with this is to have multiple DMs, so then everyone needs to have a very good idea of what the setting is like, otherwise it gets way too chaotic.
Yeah, that's understandable. Completely understandable. So, actually, I have a question about that. Do you base, like, your settings and games on like pre-existing settings, or do you like start from scratch?
Normally I go with something pre-existing and then modify it a lot.
I see.
But for this one, I want to make it like completely from scratch. Just taking some of the standard lore from D&D as inspiration. Otherwise,
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's awesome. I need
I'm currently running Curse of Strahd, which is one of the more famous D&D campaigns. But even there, I just customize a whole lot of things because I'm always like to tweak with things and make them my own.
Heck yeah.
It's just nice to have the original book as a guideline and inspiration for
Yeah.
ideas.
I mean, I guess that's kind of the reason it's there, is to have like something as kind of like a baseline for people to bounce off of.
Yeah, exactly. I would recommend everyone to customize at least a little bit, just so that it's more fun for the players that you have. And the
Yeah. I mean, even the official video games do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any games that just are like, just straight up, just, this is just one of the settings and that's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, you can run the pre-made campaigns, the official ones, like exactly as written, but first of all, there's a lot of things in there that are just bad,
Yeah.
to be honest. But also, they have to be written to be pretty general so that anyone can play them.
Yeah.
Which means that there's not a lot to tie your characters to the story, so it feels a lot more like you're just visitors in the campaign rather than really having a stake in it.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Kinda gotta build some of your own lore.
Exactly. Because with Curse of Strahd, for example, the basic setup for it is it's inspired by Dracula legends.
Yeah.
So it's you have Strahd, the big vampire lord, in his castle, and the goal of the campaign is to kill him. And like the land is surrounded by mists that won't let you leave.
I know about the Curse of Strahd campaign.
Good. But yeah, normally it starts off with the party just being a random group of adventurers from outside, and they stumble into the land, and you can't leave until you kill the Strahd, so that's your motivation.
Yeah,
but
that's
it always
kind
feels
of...
a bit like...
Yeah.
And on one side it's cool to explore this world as an outsider, but on the other end there's like nothing there to tie your character to the world.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you really have a stake in saving this land other than the fact that you can't leave until you do.
Yeah. Like, I think... Yeah, because there was a video game version of that campaign, and I think it was just like that as well, where it was like you stumble into it, you find out the like Strahd is there and he's causing all these problems and you gotta deal with it. And though I feel like there was also like a thing where like the king or somebody gets like killed and you like stumble upon it or something like that too.
I think the mayor in the first town, that's usually what happens.
Yeah, like I remember that.
For my own campaign of that, the players are all playing characters who were actually from the land itself, so that allows me to tie their backstories way into the main story. So they can have relatives there and stuff like that I can play with. I think that makes it much more interesting. And they have a much more vested interest in saving the country because it's their country.
Yeah, instead of just being like, oh, guess we're here now. I mean, I guess the reason why is, as you said, it's like so that you can easily put yourself in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like how most RPGs usually start with the protagonist either being like an amnesiac or like an isekai protagonist or things like that, is so that the protagonist can also be like, I don't know what's going on, just like you don't know what's going on, and you can kind of work it out.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the official campaigns are written with the intent that the party are outsiders who are just arriving in the location and getting caught up in the story.
Yeah.
This just makes it easier to make it to adapt to any party, and it means the players don't have to know anything about the setting beforehand and stuff like that. It's just easier, but it's not as fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, the one I was thinking of is so there's Ravenloft Strahd's Possession. And it was for the MS-DOS in 1994. And that's the one I was thinking of where, like, yeah, so this is what happens. So it says the player characters are servants of Lord Delt, leader of the land of Ulturel. After an assassin assaults the Lord and steals his holy symbol of Helm, the PCs are sent in pursuit of the thief. Instead of catching the criminals, however, they somehow manage to transport the entire party to the mist-shrouded land of Barovia, ruled over by the vampire Count Strahd. So...
yeah.
Oh wait, I forgot about this. As Barovia is surrounded by an impenetrable poison mist, the PCs have no choice but to explore the dark land of Barovia, which is crawling with undead and many more nasty things. Strahd himself seems to be interested in the character's quest for the stolen amulet and invites the party to his castle.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I gotta do that.
The character's
They did already have dinner with him, but not at his castle.
Yeah, the character's quest is to survive this hostile land long enough to unravel the mystery of the stolen amulet and somehow arrange safe passage out of Barovia. But yeah, I love this game a lot. I think this game is great. And so as soon as you mentioned that campaign, I'm like, heck yeah. It reminded me of this game.
Yeah, Curse of Strahd's an all-time classic. It's been rewritten for different editions.
The weird thing about D&D video games is that I feel like, I mean, even though just a lot of the settings aren't really used in video games, which is sad. Like, there are some like variations in terms of the settings and whatnot, but
most of it is Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, it's all Forgotten Realms usually is like the main one.
Like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, Neverwinter.
Yeah, though, and also since 2007 to date, every D&D video game has been set in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh wow.
So all the stuff that wasn't is all like older. It's like, why? Why? There's so many settings you could do. Why?
Yeah, they're trying to do a thing now where all the settings are part of like a multiverse. Because of
yeah. Well, because, you know, like Planescape Torment and all that kind of goes into that. So it makes sense, but still, to only focus on one side of all of it is, like, pretty bleh.
Yeah. Bleh. Alright.
Yeah.
Speaking of vampires.
Yeah.
Wait.
I mean, they look like vampires, even though, like, they're elves. Though, as I said, I still think it's pretty cool that they at least, like, the writer didn't just go with typical elves or typical vampires, but instead, like, kind of made their own unique iteration of it. But let's see. Remember when Anya vaped on stream, says Azure. Amazing.
Such a bad influence on the children.
I know, right? I can't believe I've done this. Dang see. Okay, hopefully the music doesn't blast my eardrums. I think I updated my computer since then, so it might be... No, it's fine. Music sounds fine to me. And then hiding that, and then streaming that on Discord. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the bagpipes. Okay, Oh yeah, I remember now what happened last time. I was like sitting there I'm like, what happened the last time we were playing this? And then I remembered we did like the whole thing where we searched through his house.
Yeah, Chandler's apartment.
Yeah, his apartment, his very big apartment. And then
huge New York apartment that he somehow affords.
Yeah, and now somebody's has like gone into the house like demanding to see us, and we can choose to escape or stay. Like a warrior has come in wanting to like kill us or whatever, and the other two are trying to like keep them from entering our room, and we can either choose to escape or stay, basically.
Okay. Have you met Joey yet, or just Chandler?
Amazing. So, are we gonna escape or stay?
We're tough, right? Let's stay.
Stay? Okie doke.
Or was it like there was some urgency? Was the escape just about like, oh, we want to get out of this shit, or was it more?
It's more like it's more like as I said, there's a guy who's trying to like break in here and saying that obviously you have the girl, you have Alenka, and they're both like, no, we don't. We keep telling you we don't have her. Like, you have the wrong idea. He's like, oh, like, she obviously is here somewhere. And so he's, like, trying to find us. And so we're wanting to either escape or stay because we were thinking to ourselves, like, they said we can protect, like, he said that he can protect us. But at the same time, like, can we trust him?
Probably don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also we don't. If we do trust him, we probably don't want to cause trouble for him.
Yeah.
Revealing that we're here.
Yeah.
So maybe it is better to escape after all.
Okie dokie. I pushed open the window and swung my feet out, jumped down into the dark garden, and then I ran. I will say...
Broke both my ankles.
I will say that I believe this is a better choice to make.
Okay.
In this situation. Because of... So, you know, we met that female half-elf, right?
Yeah.
She gives you, like, a special item if you have high enough like with her.
Okay.
Like, and if you choose to stay, like, it like, tanks it a lot. So, the fact that we escaped is good, in my opinion, here.
Alright.
So, here we go!
Hello.
And there I go! It just disappears! Hi, Owen. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love ya. The streets outside Julier's home were mostly empty, but not completely.
Alright, all these fucking names.
Yeah. Julier is the Onyx Chancellor, however his name is.
I did write names down somewhere. Let me get the...
And also, don't forget that we also have the compendium as well. In case you ever need. So, there's Julier. There's Ernal. There's Heron. There's Lacey.
Sounds like such like a just southern hillbilly.
Yeah, it really does.
This is my brother Ernal.
Ernal, there he is. Lacey. Vadian. We have Rylan here. Skylar, the female one that I was talking about. We haven't met that man yet, so ignore him.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Kelly Poa, the girl who should have had a route.
For all the 5 like main male characters, I have like notes for their personality, so I know what kind of voice to do.
Heck yeah!
But for Lacey, I just have noted down hateful.
Hateful. Amazing. The best. Oh, and yeah, Vanya.
And Ernal was noted down as a very goth.
Yeah, he is the goth man. And rain. Of course, there was rain. Not far down the street, I could see an approaching crowd. They were coming fast. They hadn't spotted me yet, but drawn as they were to Dule's house and the commotion therein, I didn't think it would take them long to spot me. Gahalian elves as a whole seemed predatory in nature. Besides, I was hardly hidden, just dripping freezy, frazzled human who swallowed a kunthatal. So I hurried away from the house, doing my best to make as little a spectacle of myself as possible. I didn't know where I was going, but any distance between myself and those who'd come for me was good enough. The streets were nearly empty, and before too long I came to the docks. The large shipping crate seemed abandoned for the rainy night, and I thought the crates a good place to hide, as good as I thought I'd get. I crouched down. While I was certain I managed to make it to the docks unfollowed, I immediately spotted the sight of a silhouette. A chill ran down my spine. I waited and watched, searching for any indication that he was aware of me. It became clear that he was.
Uh-oh.
Confront him or run.
Well, we are going for badass build, right? So.
Heck yeah. What do you want? What do you want? The elf stepped toward me, his face catching light so I could make out his features. He wore a small smile, but said nothing.
I thought for a second it said he wore a small smile, but nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's all he was just a floating smile.
I meant more like he didn't wear anything else.
Oh, like he was naked?
It's like a film noir line. She wore a smile, nothing else.
I had the knife from Dulier's kitchen stashed in my vest. I'd been keeping it hidden since the night before. Not comfortably. I took it in my hand, clutched it tight, and held it where I knew the elf could see it.
Is that a kitchen knife?
His voice
really,
was low and...
know.
Yeah, he's like, what is that? Nande?
Nani? What is this miraculous object?
He's like, can you tell me what that object is?
He looks at the camera.
I'll give you a hint. It starts with a K, but it doesn't sound like
short.
it.
Don't play with this.
His voice was low and cracked with just the dullest tone of disbelief.
It's nice when they give me hints about how to play.
It's a knife, or just stay away from me?
Yeah, let's say it's a knife.
It's a knife!
No!
No! A sharp edge is a sharp edge. You shrugged.
Okay. Equally useless in an unskilled hand.
Were they all this smug?
My father used to tell me stories about the Kathenthal. The way it would change an elf if he was strong. The way it would change him if he was weak.
The Kathenthal? He knew? You know about the Kathenthal, or leave me alone?
Let's go first. I want to get some information out of this guy.
Okie doke. Getting some sips of coffee on the way.
Probably unwise, but hey, you know.
How do you know
if this
about...
guy's deal is.
Yeah. How do you know about the Kathenthal? He laughs a sour laugh at my expense.
What do you mean? It's not a secret, and it is a small island.
People have mentioned change before, or then tell me, what do you want?
Yeah, let's go for the second one.
Then let's get to it. I planted my feet hard in the ground, straightened my spine, and projected my voice. What do you want? I thought carefully how to approach this elf. I felt extremely uneasy around him, and considering my company of late, that was saying something. What is it exactly that you want from me?
I want to know if what they say is true.
I felt another wave of apprehension. I wasn't sure what he meant, nor how I could ever provide proof of anything. He took another step closer. I knew then that he intended to hurt me, and he was too close to run from. Attack, plea, or bargain?
I mean, it's dumb, but let's attack.
Attack him!
Let's stab that
Nyum.
fucker.
My makeshift weapon in hand, I took the initiative and swung at him first. Faster than I could imagine, the elf dodged my swing and closed the distance between us. I was shocked, horrified, petrified. He took hold of my right arm and held a knife to my throat. Struggle, cry out, stay silent and still.
Let's struggle a bit.
His hold over my arm rendered my weapon useless, but still I hit and tore and pushed.
This has turned out about as I expected.
At hearing his voice, a part of me thought I was saved. Another thought my demise had just been made all the more certain. Oh no, it's Lacey. Lacey. I saw his face twitch.
Lazy. Perhaps I'll save Akare the trouble. Don't overstep, Lasega. You're enough trouble as it is. Mitwen doesn't notice my missteps any more than she notices yours. What could she possibly want with a dying rabbit? It doesn't matter what she wants. It only matters that she wants it.
I wasn't sure what was happening. But much like being caught between the teeth of two wearing wolves, I wanted to be far from both of them. And yet, though it was almost too ridiculous to acknowledge, a part of me thought Lacey was defending me. At the very least, he was here to savor his own kill.
Dulier was preparing her for the Grand General, so your options here are to walk away intelligently. But I'll let him know, or pit my employer against yours.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. The stranger snorted.
The Onyx Chandler has grown awfully proud if he thinks his reach extends to her.
Lacey stayed quiet, for some reason looking a touch smug. And the stranger had a confusing expression of his own.
But all you want is tonight. Alright, encourage him to make bold moves. His downfall has been a long time coming. As you say.
I love how, just how unamused his expression is. He's like, as you say, just get on with it. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm big chugging right now. So Sega mumbled something in his native language.
Move.
Wait a minute. Alright, I'm not going anywhere with you.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, let's say wait a minute.
What? Wait, what?
Give us more info.
Yeah.
What?
What just happened? Did you just help me? Thank you.
Yeah, the second one is the funniest. So you gotta go for that.
I'm not sure what just happened. Lacey gave a loud, frustrated, angry sigh.
You're confused. Perish the thought.
Did you just help me?
Help? I doubt it. If your little human heart is eager to swell with hope, then sure, I helped you.
Why are you helping me? This is this is confusing. Let's go.
Let's go for the top one. Just gonna piss him off, which is funny.
And why are you helping me?
You still don't know. Dulier pays me.
I don't think that's the only reason. Then I owe my gratitude to Dulier. I see.
Yeah, let's go second one, I guess.
This one?
Yeah.
Then it is Dulier who I owe my thanks.
You think you owe him gratitude? Are you really this stupid? You have no idea if what he'll do to you is any better than what Akare would have done. Let's go. I'm done talking.
I'm not going, or let's go.
Yeah, we don't really have a reason to resist, I think.
Lacey signaled the direction with his hand and waved for me to walk in front of him. We arrived at a small cabin, which reminded me all too much of home. Lacey deposited me into the cabin and then left it, all without saying a word. I had begun to settle in a little by the time he came back in.
There are harpies, but none too close.
Harpies?
Hadn't I mentioned, these woods are infested. Better count all your toes twice before you tuck yourself in tonight. Okay.
I have all mine. Do you have all yours?
Yeah.
My toes are fine. What about yours?
Fine.
Yeah.
All 12.
They don't. Wait. 12?
Elves have 12. That's why we're so dexterous.
Dude, you're not serious. He's trying.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Show feet.
Yeah, they're like, show the feet. I need to see all your guys' feet. Hold up. That's the most important thing right now. Lacey said you guys have 12 toes. I need to know.
This is 5 guys walking in at once. Immediately is like, take off your shoes.
Take off your shoes. I need to see the feet. And they're all like, well, time to turn right back around and leave.
Spread them toesies, doesn't count.
More elves arrived in a group not very long after that.
Alright, Dulier was... How are you holding up, Alenka?
Better than you'd think. I'm not really sure how I got away. I'm not really sure how I got away unscathed, but Julia smiled.
Excellent. Gaulois, our Crown General, has sent his soldiers out to collect you for execution. He's not pleased with how popular you've become in the Gaalian rumor wind.
Then why are you all helping me? I'm popular? Or alright, so what do we do now?
Yeah, let's go middle.
Middle?
Yeah.
I've become popular?
In rumors, yes. Contrary to what outsiders often think, Gaalians have active imaginations. It's hard not to when you understand little of your own station, your own history. We know just enough to shape our pace. As though running and fighting will one day lead us to where we need to be. So, when there are promises of understanding in the air, there are ears everywhere to hear. Attention, excitement, hope.
An odd way to view Gahalians, from what I've learned so far.
We do try very hard to appear as shallow as possible. But for the most part, we are regardless of wanting to understand more. All we ever do is run and fight. That's not what we're going to do now, is it? Not yet. So many voices.
I know.
Yeah. There are a lot more open minds out there. And a lot of dangerous minds.
Arnold's voice is the best.
So yes, the island has taken notice of you. And there are many eager to learn what becomes of you. Dooley is also fun to voice. I have
Yeah,
to take
he's
a lot of deep
great.
breaths because it's such a breathy voice.
Yeah. Oh, also, fun fact. This scene is actually the end of the demo, from what I remember. Which makes sense considering that this is now the time where all of the love interests are now all under the same roof.
Yeah. And some are eager to have a piece of you. Brother, can you refrain? There are a lot of mixed feelings about your humanity, too. The Cathintal is one thing, but to take form in a human...
He snorted.
It's insulting in an amusing sort of way. That has struck a particularly resentful chord with some. You'll need to be very careful. But you'll just teach them a new thing or two about humans, won't you, Madrele?
So now we can say, then why are you all helping me? Alright, so what do we do now?
I think at this point it's clearly just want, like, the Cathintal. So I
Yeah.
think, what do we do now makes the most sense.
Then, what's the plan?
Verdane and Lasega are going to patrol the perimeter of this building. It's not difficult to draw connections to Lasega from myself, so he'll have to be particularly subtle. Verdane is far freer from suspicion, but we all have our commitments. Lest we bring soldiers to you, you may be alone for a few days. Ernol and Harren are on scouts. Their access to the woods will be limited. But they are doing what they can. Ernol is helping me and Harren, and Harren is plying his own resources.
Aren't you in trouble, or I'll be alone?
Yeah, I can do the top one. I'm curious, like, what their risks are in this.
But everyone knows you're the one who...
I am under suspicion. If they can't find you, nothing is proven. Gorlois and I already have a tense relationship.
I still think it's the T-Rex arms is so funny.
Yeah. She so often doesn't seem to know what to do with her hands. It's really funny. I'll be fine.
Good. Seems very risky. Maybe you'll be kidnapped and forced to live on an island of humans.
Oh, that's really hard to resist. It's so funny. Yeah, just click it. It's too funny.
Perhaps as punishment, a crass, hulking human will manhandle you onto a ship and transport you, whether you like it or not, to a human island, where some eerie purple-eyed woman will tell you you've been poisoned and may die to madness or be consumed by power.
Crass. Worth it. Yeah. Eerie. That sounds fitting.
Oh, great.
Dulier's face. So wait, I'm eerie? It's like his reality has been shattered. He's trying to keep his composure.
Yeah, and I love that that's his problem, not the crass or anything like that. It's the eerie part.
Yes.
And then you'll have to live in a cabin in the woods infested with flesh eating.
Humans, I guess.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, humans.
So, just to be sure I have this right, on this island of it, they're taking this so seriously. Are the flesh-eating humans crazed, or... the Sega, this island she came from, was it... Did I forget to mention the cannibalism? Oh, it's so good.
I love that Lacey is going in on the joke.
Yeah. He's playing it straight, it's so good. I'm sorry. My sense of humor isn't quite right.
I wasn't really trying to make you laugh. I enjoy coming up with revenge scenarios. It helps me cope. It's very therapeutic for me.
It makes sense. It's the only way she has any power over people around her by doing this sort of thing.
So I'll be alone.
Yeah.
I'll be alone in this cabin for how long?
Not for very long. By elven standards. Just a few decades. If this goes on much longer than I expect, we'll find other arrangements for you. We'd have to. Scouts will be training in on this area in 2 months. And 4 months after that is the service column.
Months?
We need to have our costumes ready by then. It'll be huge cost.
Heck yeah.
It won't be anything like that. Ideally, you'll be here for only a few days. You have supplies. The Sega and Verdane will keep the perimeter safe, and the rest of us will work to pacify Galois. We will check in on you when it is safe to do so.
How will I stay informed? I'll be fine. I don't want to be left alone.
Think top one?
And in the meantime, I'm in the dark? And to just hope you'll work it out?
Alenka, I'm not trying to keep things from you. This is your fate, and more than anyone else, you are invested. I recognize that. If there's news to be had, and we can get it to you, we will. But again, I do not intend for this to be longer than a brief stay.
Sighed uncomfortably.
I'll say what I can get away with, Alenka. It's, risky. And unnecessary. But Heron said... something might happen to her while she's alone. Just a blink ago, she was in and out of consciousness. Or so Dulier says. Dulier and your brother. But he's right. Although there was very little we could do for her before. All the same, I think it's worth the risk. If you do, Alenka. Lusega and Verdane could sneak back with the most discretion.
So, we can say, yes, please come back whenever possible. No, it's not worth it. Verdane, yes. Lacey, no. Are you up for visits, Lacey?
Oh, man. Someone feels like we're picking routes here.
No, it's, so, the way all this works is, and I say before that this is one of the reasons why I like this, is that, yes, there are choices you make, to get with certain individuals, and, like, making certain choices will, you know, give you points with them, but you don't necessarily have to follow, like, a set, path to get there. Like, for example, of course, when I played this game, I went on Heron's route, right?
Yeah.
There's a part where you have to decide, like, what your next move is, and they all kind of give you an option. And because, if this was, you know, a Japanese otome game, you would have to pick the option that the guy you like put out there. That's usually how it
Yeah.
works, because you can't, like, role play your own character. You just have to pick what options the guy would want you to pick, which I kind of
Yeah.
hate. Whereas in this, and with a lot of Western visual novels, it's more about creating your own character and just ending up with someone along the way, which I like a lot better, because then you can actually, like, play as yourself and make your own choices.
Yeah.
Like, role play your own character. And so I did not pick his choice because I thought another choice worked better with the type of character that I had built. Because the other, basically, it was like, I had a lot of charm and stuff, and I also cared a lot about, like, making the world a better place. And so it was actually Vidane's choice that I felt resonated more with my character. So I did his choice, but because I still, like, for the most part, during conversations and stuff, I showed more affection towards Herod, it didn't matter that I picked his choice for that. Like, I still ended up on his route. So these things, basically, you can pick whatever you want, and when it comes to these choices, and it does, like, picking their choices or singling them out does give them affection points, but it's not as cut and dry as it would if we were playing, like, Hakuoki, for example.
Alright. Let's just go to the top one, I think.
I nodded. I'd appreciate that. Vidane returned the nod.
Alright, I'll do my best.
Lacey, meanwhile, gave a heavy sigh.
Just don't blame us if we lead someone to you. Then just do your job and cover your tracks. I'm not going to do that. Can you do that later, please? Try to keep your spirits up, Alenka. We are far from having our backs against the wall. You're going to change things. You'll see.
The elves grew quiet in the dusty, crowded cabin. I stole a few looks around, trying to imagine what I was in for over the next few days.
These cabins are so small.
Bigger than the hut Vanya and I shared. And big enough for the elves to split into two groups, Lacey and Vidane on one side, Juliet, Heron, and Ernal on the other. The scouts were talking about the perimeter of the forest, and the other three seemed to be discussing strategies for outmaneuvering the general. All of them, save Lacey, who would breach into Gahalian every few words, were speaking my language. I understood this to be for my benefit.
That's nice.
So, as long as we don't click this last option, we can talk to everybody. So don't think that this means we only get to talk to one person. We literally get to talk to everybody here.
Then, of course, we're going to talk to everyone.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go down the list here until we get to the end. Juliet? He stopped mid-sentence and turned his attention toward me, then nodded and waved Ernal and Heron to continue. So here's the weird thing about this, is this will happen every time we talk to somebody here, is we'll walk up to them and be like, person? And then they'll, like, leave to talk with you, and the rest of the group kind of moves away. And it's kind of weird. It's like, why? Why would this happen every time? But it does. It's weird. Anyway.
Oh, well. Just so we can have some one-on-one time, I guess.
Yeah. The two of us took a few steps into a corner of the cabin, though there was no real privacy. Earlier...
Though I would have preferred you'd stayed in my home, it worked out to our advantage. The soldier who was so certain he'd find you could not. It will probably only exacerbate Galoy's suspicions, but without evidence he will likely move slower.
I was scared, I didn't know what else to do, and what would you have done if I'd stayed? I would do it again. I want off this island.
Let's go second one.
And if I had stayed, Then that soldier would have found me. How could that have been any better?
I could have convinced the soldier to keep his mouth shut.
How could you be so sure?
I've grown a talent for assessing how pliable a person is.
And he was liable?
Very. And a questionable choice for the forces. But that's what happens when you engulf 3/4 of the population.
What if you were wrong? Every soldier isn't going to be like that, or I didn't know.
The second one, I guess.
Every soldier isn't going to be that easily swayed. Eventually you would meet one who cannot so easily be bought.
Yes, eventually, yes. Which is one of the reasons why you're here. We have to convince Gorlois not to seek your death, as attempting to dance around him forever will be futile. The Cothintal represents many things to my people. For some, like most of us here, the anticipation to uncover years of wandering, the temptation of untapped power, is a powerful allure. But there are some who fear it, not because of the horrors it may bring upon its bearers, but because of the secrets its existence may uncover. You see, if the Cothintal is real, it brings with it more questions than answers. It forces the light on shadows many of us would rather ignore.
So you're saying there are a lot of elves very interested in what becomes of me?
Yes, a lot of elves who have long been taught to conquer their fears with violence. And sadly, sometimes lacking the insight to realize this does not mean merely killing that which frightens you.
There are elves afraid of me?
In a manner of speaking. I expect, should it be a path you wish to take, you could confirm their fears with just the smallest dash of suggestion.
What would that accomplish? I'll keep it in mind. That sounds like a plan. I don't want your advice.
Yeah, I think she would like that idea. Being able to scare
Yeah.
elves.
Oh, I like that idea. Now it's a little precarious, easy to go all wrong, but if it works...
Be careful. There are a lot of ambitious and a lot of hot-blooded elves on this island. If you make yourself too much of a target and too easily disputed, they will come.
Oh. Sorry. I accidentally right-clicked.
So use the Cothintal's mystery to your advantage. No one can accurately assess the unknown.
Thanks for the advice, Dulier. You're rather unsettling, by the way. This whole Onyx Chandler thing works out. That's all I wanted.
So mean. Let's go to the last one. Not too friendly, not too mean either. Yeah.
Okie doke. Well, I'll let you get back to what you were discussing. He nodded and walked away. So,
And he waddled away.
waddle waddle, and he waddled away, waddle waddle. just imagining him waddling back over. That's so funny. Okay.
Oh, great.
Colonel? His attention shifted over to me in surprise. After a brief hesitation, he stepped away from Dulia and Heron and approached me.
What do you want? You know, when you left Dulier's house, we were scrambling to find you. Lasega managed to get to you first, but do you know who that elf was? The one who cornered you on the docks. A Carre, an assassin. This is a mess.
They all seem to be working together. It's not so bad. It's a nightmare. There's no point in dwelling on it.
That's the last one.
It's done now. There's no point wasting time fretting over it.
No point beyond acknowledging reality and trying to learn from experience before it catches up to you in the future. It's very dangerous out here, but if you fortify the cabin when we leave, and you keep quiet and out of sight, and looking around with this assembly of people in addition to Calipo as influence, you have a fighting chance at least.
I'm glad you're here. I'll definitely fight. I'll do my best.
Second one for sure.
Yeah. I'll definitely have a fighting chance. I'm not going down quietly.
Good. There isn't any surrender if you hope to survive this sort of thing. In Gahalia especially, bowing down is rarely looked upon kindly. Instead we respect the tenacious. Something you certainly seem to be. I respect your refusal to back down, Alenka. Even if the situation seems hopeless. And on that note...
He's like, Earl, are you okay?
He's running out of steam.
Yeah. He's expanded too much energy for this.
I haven't talked this much in a week. Have you any martial training?
Not any formal training, but I know some things are no.
Yeah, let's just bluff. Yeah.
Not in the sense I expect you're talking about. I've never held a real weapon in my hands or had an instructor or anything, but I've never let that stop me in the past.
You've been in fights before.
Fist fights.
It's a start, I think. The will is there.
The will is there.
Somewhere over in the corner. Perhaps, if we see this part of your struggle through, some formal training down the line will be in order.
We definitely would like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I would like that. He nodded and then watched me in silence with a curious expression on his face. I felt as though I were being assessed, so I stood tall. I'll let you get back to your conversation.
Oh god, more talking. Yes, that's probably for the best. Dogs do make questionable decisions sometimes.
He stole another glance at Heron and Dulier, then looked back at me.
Keep your wits about you. We'll be back for you soon.
And now Heron.
Hell yeah. Alenka.
I made the mistake of catching Heron's gaze from the other side of the cat. I love that it's I made the mistake.
That's such a good line.
He unceremoniously broke from the conversation he was in and approached me. I like to imagine that they're having like this, tense conversation. Then he looks over and sees me looking at him, and he's like, "Alenka." They're like, "We were in the middle of talking."
Little eyebrow wiggle first.
Yeah.
Well, today has been eventful.
You mean you don't do this every day?
Already flirting. Not that I wouldn't like to. Ever since I met you, life has been significantly more exciting.
You don't usually have occasion to come out to your infested woods.
Well, every now and then. But the soldiers coming to collect you for assassination. Lasega stealing you back from Akare's clutches. It's astonishing. I'm only sorry to have missed it firsthand.
You're way too excited about this. It's not a game. I wish you'd been there too.
Let's go first one.
Are you always this excitable, Heron?
More flirting, wow. Madrile, doesn't it seem to you that it's all coming together just so? If you don't believe that, uh, doesn't doesn't at least the thrill of getting away with a scandal, the scandal of the Cuthintal, in the heart of Gaalia, with our Grand General at your heel, doesn't that excite you?
You're right. This is amazing. No, it's terrifying. No, I'm exhausted.
I don't know. I feel like all of these are kind of out of character. I think exhausted fits the best, even though I kind of want to say the first one. I'll leave it up to you between those two.
I don't think I've ever gone down this particular talk tree. Yeah, none of these really sound like the character we've been building, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel exhausted isn't the right word for her, though.
Yeah, I think the top one could be her just, like, playing, basically. Because she has been a bit playful sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So she's probably not, like, actually excited, but she's, playing along.
Well, but it could also be, like, we've been playing her as the type to want to get into fights and stuff. So
True.
I guess that
and
could be it.
And that sort of thing.
Yeah. You're right, Heron. My heart hasn't stopped racing. It's frightening, yes, but I'm realizing more and more that it's also
exciting.
He grinned at me and I grinned in return. My heart had not stopped racing.
I've got the sense that just over the horizon, things will brighten considerably.
Do you think so?
Yes. I can't say I've predicted what will become of you in the Cuthintal, but I don't believe you'll be pursued anymore. I think you will do the pursuing. In more ways than one.
Amazing. And if I don't want to, that would be a nice switch. Why do you think that?
Second one.
Heck yeah.
Being confident.
I would welcome the change.
Yes. Would you seek revenge? To right the wrongs? To go home? Find answers?
I'd get revenge first, find answers, go home, I'd right the wrongs, all of it.
I don't know. Like, she's been feisty, but revenge? I don't know. Find answers, I guess?
Yeah.
Definitely not go home. I don't think we're in a position yet to be like, we're going to better the world.
Yeah, so find answers.
Yeah.
I would find answers, an end to all these carefully chosen half-truths and unknowns on this cryptic, confusing island. And I would know exactly what plagues me and why this happened in the first place.
All answers I seek myself. And never doubt that should I learn anything, you are the first I would share it with.
I nodded at him. Regardless of how fruitful his promise would be, I appreciated the sentiment.
So take heart. Don't let them manipulate you into obedience or being fearful when there was no cause. All will be well, Madrele.
What is that word you keep using? If you say so, you should go back with the others.
Yeah, well, speaking of answers, let's ask.
Yeah. Alright, I have to ask. What does that word you keep saying mean?
Madrele.
He smiled, averting his gaze.
It means something like shining light.
Why do you call me that?
That's what you are. I should at least keep an ear to whatever they're saying.
He smiled at me and, looking very much reluctant, walked back toward Juliet and Ernal.
He is so obviously, like, into her.
Yeah, he's sipping so hard. He's literally the biggest simp here. Oh. The conversation, I love that it's in quotes. The conversation Lacey and Vidane were having appeared strained, to say the least. They weren't yelling.
I can imagine they're both being like, as they're forming groups, the other three form one, and they're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we have to, no.
Oh, I forgot. Because we're both patrolling, we gotta actually talk about this. No.
They weren't yelling, which,
Given their expressions, was saying something of a surprise, as though they were both exercising a great deal of control to keep from getting into each other's faces. I ventured a little closer, and they both turned to look at me. I felt vaguely put on the spot.
You're discussing your patrols around the cabin? Vidane nodded quickly.
Yes, we both have our duties to attend. Things we can't avoid if for appearances alone. So we're trying to divvy up schedules.
Is it not going well?
Tuesdays don't work for me. I've told you this before. I've crochet.
Oh my gosh.
Better without interruption.
Now, because you said that, I'm now, like, imagining that, like, Lasega and Vidane are, like, an old married couple.
He's like, I can't do Tuesday. You know that's my crocheting day.
You will never leave me time for my hobbies.
Yeah.
You know how important this is to me.
Amazing. Vidane's expression snapped, a scowl instantly on his face. With a rough scoff, Vidane moved toward a corner of the cabin, ushering me along with him.
Don't listen to him. You've had blow after blow today, I hear. I'm glad you got here safe. You're really beating the odds, Alenka.
Thank you for coming. The Kunthatol hasn't killed or driven me mad yet either.
Are you and Lacey actually getting anything done?
Now this guy's giving me sim vibes. I like the middle one.
You like this one is pretty good. And to top it off, I'm staying ahead of the whole poison with an ancient curse feel. Near as I could tell, I haven't gone mad, and near as I could tell, I'm not dead.
Yes, you seem neither mad nor dead to me as well. Just kind of confused. Like, okay, yeah.
Though, who's to say how reliable our judgments are?
Ignorance is bliss. I can't really give estimates on when exactly I'll be able to check in with you, and given that it might be any hour of the day, we should come up with some kind of signal. Something non-verbal would be best, in case subtlety is important. How about 2 knocks on the door, a pause, 3 knocks on the door, a pause, 1 knock? Just coming up with it on the spot.
Yeah.
2, 3, 1. I'll let Lasega know. Looking around this cabin is strange. Lasega and I working together on something strictly outside of duty. However doubtful I am of his intentions, that is strange enough. But Thulia and Heron, Kalapoa and Ernal. I'm glad there's so much interest in the Cottontal, if only for your sake. But know that I'll do what I can to get you back home, Alenka.
I don't want to...
with the other humans.
Yeah. I don't want to go home. That's what I want most of all. I'm not sure if that's what I want.
Let's go with the last one.
Okie doke.
Not in a position yet to be like, I don't want to go home, but also like,
Yeah.
At least it's not moth farming, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what I want.
Really?
I know that must sound strange, but I'm simply not sure if I want to go home right now.
Well, I wouldn't force you home any more than I'd force you here. The decision should be yours.
He gave me one last smile and made his way back to his prior discussion. Now we have Lacey!
Hell yeah.
Lacey? From the corner of the room where Vidane and Lacey were in the midst of their pleasant conversation, Lacey's head swiveled in my direction with a sort of incredulousness.
What?
Can I talk to you for a moment?
What?
After a moment, he left Vidane and walked toward me.
Oh my god, my cat is making so much noise.
Yeah, I hear it in the background. Aw.
Adorbs. Adorbs.
What is it?
I suppose I should say thank you. Tell me more about that elf on the docks. You just happened to be on the docks at the right time?
Let's go for the last one. Just annoy him as much as possible.
Were you following me?
Following you?
As though there isn't a precedent. You just happened to swoop in right before that elf gutted me?
I was not following you. I tracked you. That is what I do. There's a subtle difference.
There is a subtle
You
difference.
humans wouldn't understand. Dooley had summoned me when he first got wind of the soldiers approaching his estate. I arrived shortly after you left. And then I found you. Luckily for you. Vidane made up a password for when we check in on you. I trust he mentioned it to you.
Yes.
Be sure to remember it. We're not the only scouts that still wander out here to hone their skills from time to time. It's entirely possible another will come. And if you get careless or make stupid assumptions, you'll likely end up dead.
I understand.
I think you should be most concerned about the assassins. If Mitwen is meddling with this because she has fancies of her own involving you, you might end up wishing you'd been merely executed. Mitwen is Grand General Galoy's wife. Any scout out here to find you will likely not be explicitly looking, though that might change. If Galois unintentionally deploys my fellow scouts in search of you. But Dulier thinks Galois has every reason to believe you're still in the city. It's the assassins who are not restrained by their masters' preconceptions. They go where they please. They do pay attention. The harpies are only beasts. If you refrain from making a target of yourself, you'll be safe in here.
I'll stay vigilant. This is why it's a good thing you're here, or fine.
We can just go top one, I think.
This one. I'll keep my eyes open. Stay vigilant.
You'd better. Vidane and I have more to discuss. Better get all your questions out before we leave.
He walked away. Okay, find somewhere to sit. You're done talking. I glanced around the cabin again in one final exhausted sweep before taking a seat on one of the cabin's 3 beds. This was where I would be spending my next few days. Hopefully there's like a book or something. After the elves
How will
left...
you survive otherwise?
Yeah.
After the elves left, I did my best to get comfortable. I couldn't help but notice the similarities to the cabin I grew up in. Helpfully, there were still certain stark differences that kept the illusion at bay.
The wooden plank keeping the door locked from the inside was a particular comfort that Vanya and I never had. I never really had anything to fear from anything that could open doors before. I was again and again astounded by how well armed the abandoned cabin was. The more I dug around, the more weapons I found. In addition to 3 old swords and a stringless bow, there was a cache including an axe, a small blade, rope, and bowstring. I put the axe under the makeshift mattress I'd assembled and kept the blade with me at all times. As the elves had suggested, I remained as quiet as I could. But it was difficult to remain quiet for what felt like days. The cabin had no windows, only slits in the walls, covered by metal. I wasn't completely sure what they were for, but I got it in my head that they were designed for shooting arrows through. I tried to peel back the metal once, but it made such a loud noise I thought better of it immediately. Thus, I was surrendered to staying quiet in a dim cabin with a single lantern. It was difficult to determine the time of day, and as a result, I wasn't sure how much time had passed, but I knew it had been at least 2 days. This reminds me that I should save. There was such a strange temptation to try one of the window slits again, or better, peek outside the door, one that grew stronger by the hour.
The scouts had been able to tell me how long it would be until they'd be able to check on me. I suppose 2 days had seemed like more than enough time because I found it increasingly difficult to remain calm. My mind began to conjure up scenarios where the scouts had been caught, all the elves aiding in our scheme rounded up, an executioner on his way to the cabin at any given moment, or worse, I would be left out here to rot. Merely waiting until I ran out of supplies or was finally driven out into the forest of harpies, racing for the shore where I could not swim. The mental theatrics were not helping.
Knock.
My eyes darted to the cabin door. A soft, rapid tap trailed from outside the door. It moved along the wall until it stopped at the corner of the cabin. Then it began again. Having turned the corner, then tapping. The tapping then made its way deeper, honing in on where I stood. I stayed as still as I could, barely daring to breathe. My eyes began to burn as I refused to blink. No further sound came. Do nothing, stay still, prepare your dagger for a fight, hide under your bed, or call out.
I think we stay as still as possible.
Okie doke. Also, I'm gonna actually save over. It's a save.
Uh-oh, I just fucked up, didn't I?
No. I'm just this is a part where we could die, but I think this one is fine. I stayed as still as I could, eyes unable to tear away from where I heard the tapping last. Horror was rapidly building in my gut as I began to piece together the possibilities. Sure, it wasn't Vidane or Lasega come to check on me. This definitely was not the password we decided on. I began to question everything any of the elves had told me. Their motivations were surely unknown to me, and perhaps this was part of their scheme. Were they trying to provoke me, frighten me, or is it not an elf at all? There were no further sounds. With each breath, I thought I'd provoke something from outside the wall, but nothing came. Stay put a while longer, put your ear to the wall.
I think curiosity will kill us killed. Stay put more.
Okay. I told myself to stay quiet a while longer, that surely whatever was on the other side of the door had not left so quickly. I continued to stand as still as I was able, willing every muscle and bone in my body to steel. After an insufferably long time, the noise returned. The tapping had moved to the other side of the cabin where the beds were. I felt my body begin to shake. The tapping moved to the door of the cabin again where there was a sudden and loud bang. I gasped and instantly a shrill scream ran out. The shaking began to take over my body as more voices joined the first, each a long and ugly sound ringing out in an awful chorus. Trust that the walls and door will hold or take initiative.
Let's take initiative just in case. I mean, they're already trying to get in now, so...
Yeah. I jumped as the cabin door thumped and pressed my body against the door to strengthen its resistance. The door continued to rattle without pause, multiple beings though slamming their weight against it in a frenzy. It didn't seem I had very long. I had to do something. Look for a way to flee or attack.
Jeez, where would we flee to? I mean, both these seem like bad options, honestly, but... well, we've been aggressive so far, though, so let's try attacking.
It seemed plain to me then that my remaining resource, my last option, would be to move on the offensive. It was true to my nature. I had trouble backing down from a fight. I had to try. I made my way to one of the sniping stilts. Taking hold of the metal cover, I jerked it back as hard as I could. It gave a piercing groan, almost rivaling the shrieks of the harpies, but I successfully opened it. The opening was only about 6 inches. Harpies, drawn to the sound, rushed from the door to my little window. 3 separate gray arms reached through almost immediately, each arm ending in a long, bony fingers tipped with curved black claws. They grabbed and scratched blindly, writhing with excitement. Taking my blade in hand, I stabbed at them. I hit the first arm, and a different sort of scream erupted from outside. Pulling the blade out again and trying for a new arm nearly cost me, as I narrowly avoided being caught by a claw. I pulled my arm, ready to strike again, when a face pressed itself against the opening.
Lovely.
Yep, her face was narrow and gaunt, sunken eyes with bright orange irises focused sharply and centered back at me. Her mouth, generously stocked with multiple rows of sharp, jagged teeth, gnashed at me hungrily. Endium. There we go. Gahalian harpies are vicious winged lithe creatures native to the Gahalian island. They share no biological connection to brevat harpies, soka harpies, or veil harpies, as indeed the only prevalent similarity between Gahalian harpies and most others is a bird mammal quantity and voracious appetite. Quality, not quantity. Quality. Indeed, only the most narrow-minded and cruel would call brevat harpy
Yeah.
a beast, where the Gahalian sort are often perceived as mindless predators. The female Gahalian harpy will group with 4 to 10 other females, forming matriarchies, leaving adult males to roam alone or in brother pairs outside of mating season. Male Gahalian harpies are significantly smaller than females. They are significantly more fearful and do not attack full-grown elves unless driven to by desperation. The female harpies have no such reservation. With their large sheer stature and pack hunting, they will take any opportunity to fill their nest. Stab or recoil?
I think we need a better weapon. So I think recoil for now.
Okie doke.
Uh-oh. I can hear the disappointment in your voice.
I found the face so grotesque, so unwelcome that my body recoiled. She, the harpy, pushed further in, her neck long enough to give her generous reach, the narrow space somehow able to facilitate her gaunt face, luckily her shoulders keeping her from getting in any further. With her gnashing came a foul smell, as though her teeth had rotten, or her diet particularly foul. Fine. And then a voice rang out. It spoke in both mind and ear, and sounded almost familiar, yet belonged to nothing I could place. A gasp escaped me. Had it been the harpy? I stared into the ravenous face before me, and believed less and less that it could be true. Mine. I had nearly lost a grip on my blade, the voice rattling me to my core. The harpy and her kin, however, were nothing if not focused. They thrashed ever violently against the wall. I needed to refocus. I gasped a second time, only now was to regain my concentration. I slashed out toward the gnashing face, and she recoiled in kind. More of her kin threw in their limbs, and I stabbed at them as well, until all had learned their lesson. Sensing I had little time to reclaim stolen ground, I worked quickly to close the metal door back over the opening. A wash of relief came over me as I managed to secure the wall again before the thrashing returned. The reprieve had been brief. In no time they were back at it with full force. I warned you. That voice! What was it? It wasn't mine. My chest heaved up and down. It took an insufferably long time to calm down. The violence on the other side of the door continued for hours, only to finally mercilessly die down. I didn't believe for a second that meant they were truly gone, but the peace gave me a chance to think on the other issue, the voice. The harpies alone were nothing in light of the whole island. I was exhausted, and it was all too easy to question my sanity. But it didn't seem to me to be madness. I considered briefly that to the mad it never would. I considered the way I'd been nearly rattled to hear it, and thought better of any further attempts to engage the harpies. They had quieted anyway, and the walls held thus far, so I waited. When I heard 2 taps, a pause, 3 taps, a pause, 1 tap, I nearly leapt out of bed.
Lenka?
Vidane!
You must stay quiet. Help.
As quietly as I could, I opened the door to allow Vidane in. He let out a relieved sigh once he was in, then smiled briefly at me while putting the door's lock back in place. Ask him what's going on or stay quiet.
I did say stay quiet.
So stay quiet?
Yeah, I guess.
Taking his prior request to heart, I stayed quiet despite the barrage of questions I wanted to ask. He gave the door another look over, then he motioned me deeper into the cabin. We both stayed quiet for a long time. He kept his eyes fixed on the front door, with an intense sort of focus that did nothing for my nerves. In the silence, with little to do but to remain as still as I could, wondering just what the full nature of what was outside the cabin, I had mentally prepared a long list of questions, all of which went flying out the window when a loud knock came from the cabin door. Vidane blew a breath of relief.
Good.
Assuming that I could finally speak, the first question in my mind sprung out without much thought. Who is it?
I'm not sure who it is exactly, but one of the others here to take you back into the city. There were harpies surrounding this cabin. This definitely didn't go as smoothly as Dulier thought it would.
He carefully opened the door.
Dulier,
Verdane sounded a little surprised.
you're a very dependable elf in situations like these, aren't you, Verdane? I appreciate it. I didn't do it for you. All the same. You didn't come alone, did you? He didn't come alone. He certainly didn't. As futile in the fray as ever.
Oh, shut up. We all know who put in the legwork here. Commander? It's Alenka! And in one piece, that does warm a cold heart. When they told me they were keeping you out here, I thought they'd all lost their minds.
It obviously worked out.
Are you alright, Verdane?
Yes, it was a little too close for comfort, that's all. I'm glad Alenka is okay. The way is clear. We shouldn't talk here. They'll regroup in short time.
Also, I can see it now. You're so right. That Verdane is a simp.
Yep.
Calipo is like, are you okay, Verdane? He's like, yeah, but I'm glad Alenka is okay.
Yeah.
And
At
everyone's
least
like,
Heron is like just constantly flirting, but he's
Yeah.
very clearly just like
yeah.
taking the simp out.
He's like, oh, my queen.
Exactly. He means clear in the sense that the harpies are dead. I hope you're not squeamish, Madrile.
I'm not, let's go, or ugh.
Let's go top one. Let's be confident.
I nodded. I'm not.
Excellent.
Let's go.
As you say.
By the time we arrived back in the city, the sun had already set. Though in truth, the day had been so gloomy and overcast that the difference was subtle at best. Verdane had some sort of night patrol. He parted ways with us soon after we entered the city. The commander said something about not being seen with us, and also took her leave. They hadn't been lying about the gore. I wasn't afforded any time to examine the mangled remains as we were moving fast, but what I had seen left an impression. Despite the nightmare I'd lived through, the creatures having met the fate they did hang a sadness over me. They'd been so desperate I couldn't help but guess at their reasons. Hungry? The elves certainly could have culled their numbers if they wanted to. Overpopulation of a predatory species is a problem for predator and prey alike. But I didn't ask. I couldn't bear to just then. When we stepped into Dulier's house, he and Ernal both let out a sigh. Ernal immediately followed his with a scoff, as though perturbed that Dulier had mimicked him.
Yeah.
It's so funny. The dynamics between all these characters are just perfect.
Yeah. Your nerves are betraying you, Dulier. As are yours. Though I expect that we were made nervous by different things. He's far more lethal than harpies.
I guessed at who they meant but didn't ask, uncharacteristic of me as that was. It was then I realized I hadn't said a word in a long time. Oh yeah, I did the, you declare you're back! Skylar burst in, her voice nervous but her expression relieved.
Of course, darling. Stop doubting.
Doubting that you can successfully defy Galois, that you can do that and keep your life?
Panic isn't helping.
I know that Heron had also been uncharacteristically quiet. Update me, out with it, am I still in danger?
I think update me is fine.
Tell me what's going on.
Galois has agreed to temporarily stay his hand.
Skylar, Earl, and Heron all wore rancid expressions as though they just swallowed spoiled meat, and I felt my stomach twist. How? Why? Good?
I think how makes the most sense, yeah.
How did you manage that? Dule donned a smirk, and the sour looks the others wore intensified.
The Grand General isn't happy with the situation. We've proven ourselves antagonistic, and he'll surely meet us in kind, which is probably why the others have such dire faces.
His disapproving gaze swept across the room.
It's like a school teacher.
Yeah.
So, yes, there will be consequences, but those are consequences I'm prepared for. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I mean, that's exactly the kind of personality he has.
Yeah. Nor is this an investment unworthy of the risk, as some of you seem to think.
And also, it is kind of true that he's kind of like a teacher of all of them, because he is like the oldest by a lot. I'm pretty sure. Like he's been alive for like decades upon decades, whereas millions of years. So he's like kind of an old man. He's kind of an old man compared to the rest of the group. Like the rest of the group is more like normal. Like, in terms of human age, kind of normal, where, like, he's more, like...
They're like adolescents, sort of.
Yeah. Whereas he is, like, actually, like, kind of old.
An actual adult.
Yeah. After saying that, his gaze settled on Skylar.
Not a risk, a certainty. You'll pay for this. Likely we all will.
You're in danger now, too. I do not appreciate being referred to incessantly as an investment. Right, can we skip to the good news?
Yeah, I mean, the second part, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only thing keeping you alive, so let's not complain.
Yeah.
We can just go to the third one.
Third one. Then perhaps we should get right to why you look so pleased, Juliet. You certainly don't look like the man who's facing certain doom like the rest of them.
I reveal that much. Galois agreed to stay the order of execution by 12 days. Bear in mind, however, Galois does not always keep his word. Well, that's great news already.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, then why are you smiling? He says, I find this just so entertaining.
Good news. You'll be executed 12 days later than expected. Maybe.
Maybe. Isn't that exciting?
Good news, everyone.
Also, there's something I need to say, which is that his outfit, Dulier's outfit, always, like, weirds me out a bit, because I can never get over the fact that it kind of looks like he's wearing, like, a gauntlet on his,
That's right, yeah.
like, his arm, but just his arm. So he has, like, armor here, but then the rest of his outfit is just a normal outfit, and I can never get over it. I'm like, why?
Maybe he's got, like, a sick robot arm or something.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Now, I wonder if it's supposed to be, like, a weird glove, but just the way that it's drawn,
Yeah,
it kind of
maybe.
looks like...
It kind of looks like a piece of
Yeah,
armor.
especially when it has that sort of... that sticks out at the elbow.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
that,
this part right here is what's really doing
that
it.
has that line before the fingers, makes it look very gauntlet-esque, yeah.
Yeah.
While he is not a man who betrays confidence easily, he does have a way of conjuring up sympathetic reasons to explain a change of heart. Don't count on getting the full 12 days. Well, we don't need much time either way. All we need to do is prove our worth to Galia. Prove it so well that executing you would net him too much disapproval, and the risk of you pose alive becomes smaller than the risk you pose dead.
That's all. I hesitated for a brief second before asking what seemed the obvious question. Then how do I do that?
If the Cothenthals made you stronger in some way, no true Gaalian would shy away from it. The Cuthental is ours, and if it is strength, it is our strength, and we would never deny. We would embrace it, as we should.
But if you're not strong enough to draw respect from the most brutal of us, there are less grandiose and really smaller ways of going about things.
To start with, there's a fracture in the ranks. It has been growing slowly for years now. Still a ways off from forcing Galoy's hand, but there is enough divide that throwing in with one or the other and gaining their support may prove too costly for Galois to act against. You see, Madrele, we are far from the only ones to move against him. The struggle would be convincing them to quickly throw their weight when, so far, all their actions have been very careful and very slow. There's also my father.
Ernal scoffed
Ugh.
loudly.
It seems we have options, Alenka. Heron suggests you pursue the divide in the forces, or go to his father. Ernal suggests going directly to the people at large. There is another option as well, a particularly bold one.
It would be a fool not to hear all the options, wouldn't I?
There's a reason Galois wants to snuff you out. Something about the Cuthental that threatens him. If it was merely a matter of pride or principle, I think he would have avoided this entirely. But something about you threatens him. If we discover what he is afraid of, we can use it as leverage.
Leverage? Like threatening him?
If that is how you prefer to go about it. Ernal thinks you need to woo a city, but I say you need manipulate only one man. It is up for you to decide.
You're letting me decide?
Yes, don't you want to?
I'm just surprised. Of course I want to decide. I don't know.
Let's just say I'm surprised. Yeah.
I'm only surprised. I am but weak human flesh wrapped around a precious investment. Julia gave a long, suffering sigh and Heron snorted.
Oh, good. You've recognized the gravity of the situation.
I recognize it better than any of you. It's my life.
It's my life. No, Alenka. It's very likely ours now, too.
It's my life and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You cry too if it happened to you. Ba-na-na-na-na.
I wish I could give you more time to consider the options, but time is not a friend. What do you say?
Ask Heron his opinion, ask Ernal. I think, yeah, we can ask everybody their opinion here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Let me just save real quick.
Yeah.
So just go down the line.
I'm gonna head off after this, I think, because it's getting late.
I would say we should leave after we make the choice here, because I think we'll forget too much next week to make a proper choice.
Get all this info and then forget all of it before we actually use it.
Yeah, so let's go down the line here and then make our choice. Ask Heron his opinion. You've been a little quiet, Heron.
Have I?
His smile was warm, but his eyes seemed distant.
I'm not sure. I don't like any of the options very much. But my least favorite is Dulier's plan to blackmail my grandfather. He's not an easy man to deceive, and he is stubborn and very proud. Tiptoeing around his mind and stoking the right fires to your advantage is such a risky game when failure means your life, Madrele. It already does mean your life, yes, but perhaps Dulier should inform those he advises of his past.
His past? What happened? Aaron sighed.
He's made a mess of other people's lives plenty. I don't want you to be added to that number. He references things which have no bearing on the matter at hand. Nor do we have the time allowance to discuss it. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, and they're all like,
So unfortunate.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so
Don't have the
unfortunate.
time to go into my dirty old secrets. Alas, I would tell you everything, but look at the time.
Yeah, he starts walking away. It's like, come back here. He's like, oh, I left the thing in the oven. I gotta go.
Oh dear, look, it's lunchtime.
I take it you think I should impress the people? Ernal nodded.
You would not be trying to coerce or divide Gaalia. You may even further unite us. I look at it like working with the tide, rather than against it. But more relevant to your interests, I think it is the only way you will succeed.
Oh, so it wasn't Vidane, it was actually Ernal that I was thinking of. This was the route that I went when I played it by myself back in the day. Was I went with his idea, because I was like, well, I'm a charming character, and I would want to, like, help people who are, you know, struggling.
Makes sense.
So I'll go down this route. And so even though this is something that Ernal suggested, I still ended up on Heron's route anyway. So that it like goes to show that you're able to make your own choices, make your own decisions, make your own character, but still end up with the love interest you want, which is what I like about this and other Western visual novels.
Yeah, and most Japanese ones, this would be like, hey, pick which one you want to like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I absolutely hate that, because it's like, I want to be able to make my own character, though.
Yeah.
I want to make it like a D&D campaign where I'm, like, customizing my role-playing stats, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I can always count on you to get to the point. He nodded again.
The problem in working with the tide is you have to keep up. There's no playing by your own rules. It's all on the will of the ocean. And that is a lot to learn in a short amount of time.
Asked Dulier
Now,
his
I'm
opinion.
all for the motion of the ocean, but...
Do you really think I could pull off manipulating the Grand General that way? Dulier stared at me for a while in consideration.
I think you can.
So you have to figure out a reason Galois needs me.
Yes. I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't already have ideas. We would help you. More specifically, I would help you.
I caught sight of Skylar twisting her face in discontent. You're going to get yourself killed, Dulier.
I hope not.
Asked Skylar her opinion. Surely you have an opinion, Skylar. Yes, I'm astounded I've managed to keep it in this long. If you must stumble after one carrot on string after the next, you should exploit the civil divide. Change is becoming, and you might as well be. Try to be the harbinger of it. The harbinger of change, as though there were not enough pressure on me already? She shrugged bitterly. Sometimes the harbinger of change is only an unwitting human who wants to go home, I guess. Despite the pressure I felt in my chest, I managed to chortle. Chortle. That is a great word choice.
Yeah.
I know what to do. I've decided. Okay. We're gonna save. Save! Okay, so this is the choice I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think... Yeah, the one that I chose, I think, was, like, this one during my playthrough. It was one of these two. I don't really remember which one I picked.
Yeah, I think the first one, man. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think one of the middle ones makes the most sense with our character.
Yeah.
The most actiony.
Yeah.
Coercing Galois sounds good, but I don't like that it's like so much Toulé's plan and nobody else likes it.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust him one bit.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that regard.
Let's go with Skylar's plan, like taking advantage of the fracture. I think
Okie
that's
doke.
the best.
Yeah. Gonna take advantage of the fracture in the forces.
Let's fuck up this whole island.
Yeah, I'm going to seek out the splinter in the forces.
Verdane has a strong connection with Commander Calipoa, and with her support, you will have the access you need. Make sure you're certain.
I am.
Yeah. Then it is decided. We know what we'll do.
Okay. This is where
I
we'll
already
save.
regret letting you decide.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I really wanted to try my idea, though. That
It's
would
like,
have been
fuck, I really thought I had her manipulated to go my way.
It's like, that was your best shot, Julian.
I don't know how humans work, apparently.
Yeah. Amazing. But we did it.
Alright. That was a lot of fun again.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Really
game is
enjoying
great.
this game.
Yeah. It's such a good time. And I'm
many
glad
fun
you're
characters to play.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, as I said, like it's almost hard to go back to a lot of Japanese VNs after playing Western VNs because of just how different it like is done.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I wish I wish that it was different, but at the same time, like, I understand why. Like, there are people who actually say that they prefer the way Japanese visual novels do it because they find that as being like the gameplay of you having to like figure out which is the right choices to make, you know.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I'm just like, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, it's more like a puzzle than
Yeah.
really role-playing.
Yeah.
I like being able to make choices that fit your character.
Yeah, same. Same. Yeah, thanks for joining again, Rolf. You're the best.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We'll be continuing onward. So now we're past the part of the demo, which is pretty great.
Hell yeah.
We're on to the next kind of small arc in this story. We have a couple to go through.
It's a small little arc of toppling elfish society.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We still have a ways to go with this story, but we're...
Yeah, it feels like a long one.
Yeah, as most visual novels are, pretty long. And I'll also let you know once we finally get to the climactic point of the story. I mean, you'll probably guess it because it'll feel very climactic, but basically there will come a time where it's like, we better have our stats, otherwise we're dead. We're not there yet, though.
Surprise, stat check.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching, everyone watching.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks for being here, Azure. I love you very much. And yeah, get some good rest, Rolf. Thanks for hanging out as always. I'm glad you're enjoying the VN. I love ya.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll probably join a call later, Azure, to do some stuff. Maybe watch some videos and whatnot. Maybe play some more Soul Hackers 2. We'll see. I love you more. And of course, doing more stuff for VN night next week. We'll see what I'm doing. I'll need to send out the how should I put it? Yeah. Oh, my brain. The straw poll. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah. And I also still need a message Felipe exactly which day we're doing it, because we hadn't decided yet on what day we were doing the walk specifically, just that we were doing it this week because we wanted to see what the weather was like first before we made any decisions. But yeah, understandably. But anyways, let me open Chrome so I can raid somebody. Hopefully somebody is live that we can raid. I honestly, I considered not doing the stream today because I was feeling really exhausted since I still had to do work yesterday, so I didn't really have Sunday off, which was like really sad. But in the end I was like, you know what, I always feel better after I do streams though, so I should do it. So I didn't. Now we're here. Oh, it seems John has just went live. Maybe? Let me see. Why does it say 0 views? It shows that he's here, but there's no views there, which is very weird. Should I raid him? I'm very confused. Eee. Yeah, I'm glad I did too, because I do feel better now after doing a stream. Streams always kind of give me, like, some refreshing energy. I honestly, it's times like this that I really wish I could just make this my full-time job. Because I feel like, more than anything else, this is, like, the stream that I feel the most... I mean, this is, like, the job that I feel the most, fun from doing, if that makes sense. But like a natural for me. But anyways, yeah, it's probably because he just started, but it was still worrying me. But let's raid John. Oh yeah, because it just gave this thing that says that he went live. Like, it wasn't there until now. That's funny. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for joining. I love you all. I'll see you guys on Saturday for whatever we're doing for VN night. And I'll see you, Azure, maybe later. Cause in a call or whatever. You're the bestest being. Anyways, bye-bye. I love you all.